Chapter 5, 151. Educate Well. Translator, Chibi General Editor, Chibi General. Although I am not a Star Path Goo master, if I refine this set of Star Goo, it would be a huge help in opening the Stargate and linking to Hu Immortal Blessed Land. Fang Yuan could not help but feel a bit of joy in his heart. He had invested heavily earlier to nurture a batch of Starlight Firefly Goo in his Hu Immortal Blessed Land. He also got many air bubble fish to increase the Starlight Firefly Goo's growth. But even so, the Starlight Firefly Goo's expenditure was greater than its production. Every time the Stargate was opened, large numbers of Starlight Firefly Goo would be used. But to nurture Starlight Firefly Goo, a lot of time was needed. It was easier for Fang Yuan back in Northern Plains when he could use the starlight in the sky for one of the two sides of the gate. But in Imperial Court Blessed Land, there was no starlight in the sky. Thus, to open the Stargate, he would needed to expend even more Starlight Firefly Goo. But if he could refine this set of Goo that could amplify the power of Starpath, one Starlight Firefly would be able to achieve the effects of a few. That way, he would have several times less expenditure than currently. Furthermore, this Goo recipe is interesting. The thought process and viewpoint is different from the norm. It is like a deduction done using Earth science and math. To think that Poet Immortal was so knowledgeable, having such incredible ideas. Fang Yuan could see a portion of Poet Immortal's wisdom from this Goo recipe. Taking all that was valuable in these few rooms, Fang Yuan returned back to where he came from. Du Min Jun was a righteous path Goo master. His inheritance was naturally a righteous path inheritance. There was only one trial and was not difficult. When Fang Yuan returned to the mountain peak, the worm group that was troubling everyone had dispersed. Lord Chang Shan Yin, you are finally back. I wonder what gains Lord had made inside. Pan Ping's expression was ominous as he walked up to Fang Yuan. His intention was obvious. You Wolf King took the meat. You have to at least leave us the soup, right? Ha ha ha, congrats, Lord Wolf King. With this inheritance, you are like a tiger who gained wings. Zhu Zai cupped his fists and spoke, not mentioning anything related to splitting the gains. Fang Yuan nodded lightly. This inheritance was set by Poet Immortal Du Minjun. There are still a lot of beautiful treasures left inside. You can go take it. Saying so, he set on the azure myriad Wolf King and flew into the sky. Pan Ping saw him leaving and immediately shouted, Sir Chang Shan Yin, we restrained the worm group for you painstakingly, yet you took all the best things inside the inheritance. According to the rules, you have to give us some compensation. Compensation? Fang Yuan stopped his wolf, floating in the air as he looked at this Soul Blade general with a half-smiling expression. What compensation do you want? Fang Yuan asked. Pan Ping expressionlessly requested, We can't determine what compensation to get yet. Why don't Lord show us the inheritance you obtained so that we can evaluate it? Ha ha! Fang Yuan laughed, looking at Pan Ping amicably. Look at this compensation. Are you happy with it? Saying so, he willed and the Azure Wolf group surrounded Pan Ping from the ground and the sky tightly. Pan Ping's expression changed. He held onto his scimitar as he shouted, Lord Wolf King, what are you doing? Fang Yuan sat on the wolf back, looking down at Soul Blade General, snickering. Howl! The Azure Wolf group moved and charged at Pan Ping. Pan Ping's expression turned into shock as he blocked left and right, unleashing all his moves. He was a rank 4 peak stage cultivation. After getting much gains in the battles, he had high-quality goo worms that were a complete set. His battle strength far surpassed his previous state. But the Azure Wolves were not ordinary wolves. Each one was at least 100 Beast King. This meant that they each had large numbers of wild goo in them. After Pan Ping killed several Azure Wolves, he could not hold on anymore, bleeding profusely as he got into a desperate situation. Lord Wolf King, you are too overbearing. We are of the same army. Are you trying to kill me? He shouted loudly, trying to suppress Fang Yuan using righteousness. The other Goo Masters had no idea what to do. Fang Yuan's overbearing attitude made them uncomfortable, but because of his strength, they did not dare to say anything. Lord Wolf King, please calm down. Pan Ping did not know what was good for him. He verbally insulted Lord. But Lord is such a grand hero, why is there a need to put yourself at his level? Zhu Zai urged quickly. Pan Ping was He Lulan's beloved general. It is said that he was already part of He tribe. If he died here when He Lulan pursues the matter, he might not do anything to Changshan Yin, but he, Zhu Zai, would be doomed. Since Zhu Zai joined He tribe alliance army, he naturally wanted to join He tribe. Zhu Zai, you're overthinking this. I am not angry. Fang Yuan smiled at Zhu Zai lightly, but the Azure Wolves were attacking even more fiercely under his manipulation. Zhu Zai's heart was anxious, but he was secretly shocked by Fang Yuan's ruthlessness. Over there, Pan Ping was in a critical state. He activated Soul Blade Gu, but could only defend himself. He could not break out of the wolves' encirclement. Lord Wolf King, please have mercy. Pan Ping is going to die. Zhu Zai showed an expression of fear as he urged once again. Fang Yuan finally stopped his attack, sighing at Zhu Zai. Sigh, I am not violent, but this junior does not know how to respect his seniors. If I do not teach him a lesson today, is he going to dance on my head in the future? Yes, yes, yes. Lord is absolutely right, Zhu Zai quickly answered. Fang Yuan waved his hand and the Azure Wolves stopped attacking. They moved back, but the encirclement was still present. Without the pressure of the wolves, Pan Ping collapsed on the ground. He was bathed in blood and covered in injuries. He breathed roughly as he stared at Fang Yuan with eyes filled with hatred. Fang Yuan saw his expression and laughed. It seems you have not had enough. Maybe my lesson wasn't severe enough, Zhu Zai. What do you think? Zhu Zai shuddered. He could see the overwhelming killing intent hidden in Fang Yuan's calm gaze. He quickly waved his hand. Enough, it is enough. Pan Ping had received a sufficient lesson. Pan Ping quickly apologized to Lord Wolf King. Pan Ping clenched his fist. He gritted his teeth as he took a few deep breaths, closing his eyes and saying with much pain, Lord Wolf King, I am sorry. He howled in his heart, however. Today's humiliation, I will return it to you 100-fold. Wolf King, remember this. I am not someone you can humiliate as you please. Pan Ping was a vigilant and low-profile person, but after the imperial court contests, the pride in the deep parts of his heart burst out. Especially in the battle against Lu tribe, he was first killed by 3 heads, 6 arms, but was revived by Tai Bai Yun Sheng, later using man as before Gu. Such a revival process made his nature change slightly, making him feel like he was a person blessed by the heavens. According to the rules, I should be allowed to check the gains from the inheritance. Wolf King, you are too overbearing. You will definitely regret all that you did today. Although you are strong now, it is only because you started cultivating several earlier than me. One day I will catch up to you, surpass you, and return all this humiliation right back at you. Pan Ping screamed internally. Fang Yuan naturally had no idea what he was thinking, but he was not interested either. If I kill him here, He Lulan would not pursue the matter with me. But this is a demonic act. It clashes with my identity. Furthermore, it does not benefit my future plans at all. I might as well leave this Pan Ping for the future. Pan Ping only had 1 Soul Blade Gu, which Fang Yuan had some interest in. If he was killed now, Fang Yuan would probably not receive the Gu. Thus, Fang Yuan said, since you admitted your mistake, that is very good. It means you have noticed my hard work. A junior should behave like a junior. Do you understand now? Understood. Pan Ping shut his eyes. He was furious, but he squeezed out the words. Fang Yuan snickered. He understood his feelings, but he did not expose him, only continuing to say, very good. Since that is the case, compensate me. In order to educate you, I made quite a loss. Look at my wolves. 15 corpses are lying here. What? Pan Ping opened his eyes out of pure rage. What, are you unwilling? Fang Yuan smiled lightly, looking at Pan Ping with an obvious expression of mockery, like a cat toying with a mouse. I am willing to, Pan Ping breathed in deeply, nodding his head as he accepted his fate. This is the attitude of a junior indeed. Fang Yuan chuckled, smiling gently and kindly. But in everyone's view, he looked extremely scary. It was all thanks to Lord. Zhuzai was smiling at the side. Of course. Fang Yuan nodded in agreement, smiling as he accepted this hypocritical flattery. He then looked around. What about you guys? Do you need some lessons too? Everyone quickly rejected him with pale expression. They were shuddering, obviously scared out of their wits. Fang Yuan laughed loudly, extorting all of Pan Ping's goo recipes and several of his goo worms. Pan Ping was extremely furious. The few goo that Fang Yuan chose were critical to his goo set. Without them, his strength would fall by at least 2 levels. After toying around with Pan Ping, Fang Yuan felt the fun turning into boredom as he patted the wolf head, rising into the sky. That will be all. There are still rather good things inside. They are unique. Go ahead and take them. Everyone heard this and were revitalized. Many people thought, Lord Wolf King is truly righteous. It was natural for him to take the bulk of the meat. Lord Pan Ping was simply too small-hearted. Only until Fang Yuan and the Azure Wolf group vanished into the sky did everyone start moving toward the Starlight Door. According to seniority, Zhu Zai and Pan Ping were the first 2 to charge in. The 2 first entered a small courtyard, but only found Du Minjun's original poems. As for goo worms, goo recipes, they were all swept away by Fang Yuan. Not a trace of them were left. Lord Wolf King was right. These are really unique treasures. Zhu Zai held the poems in his hand as he laughed bitterly. Pan Ping, who was hopeful and wanted to get some benefits to recoup his losses, had a dark expression. Pooh! Suddenly he threw up a mouthful of blood as he fainted from anger. Several days later. With my current speed, the sacred palace should be close by. Fang Yuan rode on the Azure Myriad Wolf King's back, pondering to himself. Soon after, his gaze became fixed at an area on the ground below him. This terrain is so familiar. Don't tell me.